HR meeting to order, please. Roll call.
Kokendorfer?
Here.
Bowman?
Here.
Middleton?
Here.
Weipert?
Here.
Zach?
Here.
Hoffman?
Here. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have the approval of our previous minutes of February 21st. Moved by Commissioner Weipert, supported by Commissioner Zach. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Next item is our approval of our agenda. We're going to pull item number 3 off the agenda and move it to our next agenda. Is there any other additions or deletions? I'll entertain a motion with the correction.
I'll move the agenda as amended.
Moved by Commissioner Weipert, supported by Commissioner Middleton. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Next item is public comment. Is there anyone here from the public who would like to address HR? Hearing none, I'll close public comment and go on to the first item of our agenda. It's miscellaneous resolution 18058, Parks and Recreation, Addison Oaks and Groveland Oaks, position deletions, creations, and reclassification. Motion. Moved by Commissioner Weipert, supported by Commissioner Kokendorfer.
Good afternoon, Sue Wells from Parks. We're here today in regards to positions at Addison Oaks and Groveland Oaks County Parks. Addison Oaks is 11,000 acres of county park land. There is a campground there that is open 24 hours a day, April through October. We also do have a day use park that's open year-round. Groveland Oaks is also a campground with approximately 800 acres of land, open April through October, 24 hours a day. There also is a day use park there. Due to the added responsibilities of being open 24 hours a day and the need for supervisory responsibility of oversight of staff, we are asking for these changes, the deletions and creations that are listed below. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Commissioner Middleton?
Yeah, Addison Oaks is 1,100 acres, not 11,000.
I apologize.
I used the farm part of that, so
I would be here asking. I would be here asking for more staff.
Commissioner Weipert?
Part of the position would be covered by fees. Generally, we got some excess campground fees. I mean, it sounds like it's well used.
Our parks have expanded in the months on the shoulders when they're open, so our fees have increased at both Addison and at Groveland, as well as our day use.
Great. Is it always full, or is it?
We are full on the weekends, Memorial Day to Labor Day. We do have capacity during the week, but we see that it's approximately 60% during the week and 100% on the weekends.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, they pack them in out there, especially Groveland, in my district. Anyway, I have a question too regarding the current classification of a general maintenance mechanic, and now that person will be classified to a parks crew chief. Different jobs, different, I mean, go from a mechanic to a...
It will, the crew chief will be able to give more oversight to staff that are working other positions. And this is helpful when we have people that are there 24 hours.
So what happens to the person who is a maintenance mechanic? I mean, that's eliminating the position if this guy's moving up to a crew chief?
Yeah.
At the current time, that they'll remain a general maintenance mechanic, and then that will become a promotional opportunity to that employee within those two positions.
Okay, so if they move to this new position, then you have to fill a position. Am I understanding this right?
No, you'll
No.
have, what we're going to do, you'll see originally we mentioned that there's a parks crew chief, the first set of line items. That's going
That
to
one.
be deleted in order to
Okay.
create the supervisory positions based upon need at each campground. From there, we're just upwardly reclassifying the 2 general maintenance mechanics. So,
Okay, will they still, who will be the maintenance mechanic then?
The
That
ma-
same person?
the maintenance mechanic duties still fall under the parks crew chief, it's just an expanded. So once that they get to that point at each park, they're eligible for a promotional opportunity once they're performing those duties.
Okay,
So, and they're both currently filled at the moment.
okay, thank you. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Kokendorfer,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Middleton,
Yes.
Wyper.
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
Hoffman.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next item, number 2, miscellaneous resolution 18056, economic development and community affairs, delete and create a position. Moved by Commissioner Middleton, supported by Commissioner Wyper.
Good afternoon.
And
We have here before us Jennifer Llewellyn, Irene Spanos, and Dan Hunter. And we are requesting deletion of a part-time marketing coordinator and growing that to a full-time marketing coordinator under the grant dollars that the Workforce Development Program has. So there's no additional cost to the county. The workforce development area is by far the biggest issue that we're working on in business development. Every day, every business that we talk to, small, medium, and large. And so Jennifer and her group of Michigan Works doing a great job, but we need some more horsepower. So that is the nature of this request. Feel free to add in if you would like, or we're happy to answer questions.
you may have any questions? Commissioner Middleton?
The new director is from that
Yes.
background also.
Dr.
right?
Meyer, yeah.
You want to expand on the new director?
Yes, Dr. Meyer, former Chancellor of Oakland Community College, Dr. Tim Meyer, obviously brings a whole wealth of knowledge in the education and the workforce development. Community colleges are, incredibly important. So we really look forward to having him come on board next Monday.
Monday.
And we've got a lot of workforce development things going on, don't we, Jennifer?
Any other questions? Commissioner Zach?
So I'm all in favor and supportive, and I hope we can find you a good location in South Oakland County. But I do want to go on record and say that part of workforce development is getting people to apprenticeships, transportation, and, lower income people or students particularly can't get to these places unless we have a good transportation system in Oakland County. And I just want to go on record and say that I hope that we will look at this. I have heard from countless employers in opt-out communities that can't staff their existing jobs because of transportation. So this is a workforce development issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Middleton,
Yes.
Wyper.
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
Kokendorfer.
Yes.
Hoffman.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is miscellaneous resolution 18060, Sheriff's Office, creation of a technical assistant position for HIPAA compliance. Motion moved by Commissioner Wyper, supported by Commissioner Zach.
Good afternoon. I have with me Lieutenant Steve Schneider from our Investigative and Forensic Services Division, Homeland Security. Emergency Response and Preparedness is what it's called. Homeland Security is included, ERP. It's a little bit complicated, but a study was done, and I'm going to have Steve explain it to you.
So in ERP, I'm in charge of the technical unit, computers, etc., and also the records unit. And as part of that, I have a TA that does all the reporting to the state and the FBI for all of our microstats, which is all of our stats that are going to include all the major crimes, property crimes, violent crimes, etc. So we want to make sure those are always accurate. About 6 months ago, I was contacted and told that we needed to have somebody sit on the HIPAA compliance committee, so I sit on the HIPAA compliance committee now. And when we were talking to everybody in the committee, they said, you know, we have to be compliant, it's federal law, and we have to make sure that we're not giving out PHI, personal health information. And of course, we shouldn't be giving out PII, just your personal identifying information ever. And of course, we have CGI, criminal justice information, which we're required to, you know, keep under wraps by the FBI. So we started talking about how are we going to make sure that we comply with all of this, and the county has hired a HIPAA consultant who was instrumental in doing HIPAA compliance at Flagstar Bank, at Blue Cross Blue Shield, et cetera. And she said, well, just for your department, due to the number of moves that you have every year, due to the different kinds of software programs, et cetera, you're going to need at least 40 hours a week to comply, because you have to go through an audit on a constant basis, let alone every 3 months, a variety of different programs. So we discussed that, and we came to the realization that obviously 40 hours or more, you know, I couldn't do it, my TA can't do it, we can't mix it all together, we've got to figure this out. So when we were doing the study, we found out that during the year we have at least 500 requests. Those are new employees, employees that transfer, employees that leave, or employees that leave and become PTNEs. So over 500 of them, they take at least 20 minutes each to do, to make sure that they're in and out of the correct programs. In addition, we have 15 distribution groups and shared emails that we've identified that have personal health information in them. So we have to make sure that the right people are in them and the wrong people aren't seeing stuff. We also have 18 folders on the iDrive that have to be audited on a regular basis, and we have 13 programs, specific programs that have PHI in them, and we have multiple vendors, including our nurses through CCS, which are contract nurses at the jail, Aramark, which is our food vendor, because they see PHI when they go to identify what someone can and cannot eat. Community corrections we interface with on CSTAR and WinTox when people have to take their tests to make sure that they're, you know, not taking something they shouldn't be taking. Easter Seals is now on board and doing psychiatric for us. And so all of those people are going to have to be audited by this TA. So she's not just going to do the employees, she also has to talk to the vendors and make sure they're HIPAA compliant. They've taken all of the HIPAA classes and whatever they're supposed to do, and do that on a regular basis. So it's constantly auditing, plus every 3 months auditing individually every one of these programs that I mentioned.
Tell them about the penalties.
The penalties are severe. We looked into that. Some of the smaller counties have been hit with $600,000, $700,000 penalties. A major university medical center just got hit with $775,000 penalty. Most of these entities, governmental entities, are much smaller than us. So in talking to Corporation Counsel, they indicated that they felt, based on our size, our penalties would be much larger. We've been working on HIPAA compliance in the county since at least 2014. It's now 2018. So there will come a point where the federal government, it's the Office of Civil Rights Enforcement, is going to say, are we there yet? So we need to get there.
All right, any questions, Commissioner Zach?
So here's my question. Do we have a procedure and policy manual, or are we developing that?
So I wrote a policy, and we
Okay.
just implemented the policy, and the policy is very specific, and instead of just specifically talking about PHI, the policy talks about PII, PHI, and CGI. In addition, there is an additional agreement sheet that every employee, volunteer, etc. at our department must sign. It's an individual attestation sheet that says, I understand these 3 things, I understand I'm not allowed to give them out unless it is within that, you know, that criminal justice realm. And if I do, there are severe penalties for me doing it, whether they be criminal, civil, or otherwise. And so every one of them is signing that as we speak.
That's good to know. Having worked in a healthcare organization, serving on boards, you know, that have manuals like this.
Yes.
Will this be enough staffing to make sure that we are in compliance? You know, I'm totally supportive, but I'm questioning understanding the complexity of the regs.
Sure.
Is this enough?
Sure. So with the help of our HIPAA compliance consultant, Tamika Albert, I am having a sheet written out where it gives daily instructions for this person. I've also ordered a dry erase board that has quarterly, biannually, annually the things you have to do. I'm really trying to make sure that this person is going to really be organized as to what they need to do. And because I'm already doing that on the other side with all the criminal justice information, the statistics, et cetera, I feel pretty confident that we'll be able to stay on top of this and make sure that we're doing the audits, doing everything we need to do. Certainly, after doing it for 6 months or more, we're gonna take a look at, is this person okay? Do they need a little more help, or, where are we at there? We have a little bit of leeway occasionally. My days are pretty full since I'm in charge of a variety of things, including all of our special projects that we do. And Michelle, who's my other TA, is pretty packed with doing the crime stats and making sure that they're accurate. You probably saw that the safest cities in Michigan and the safest cities in the country have been reflected in the news lately, and those are a result of crime stats and of staying on top of them and being accurate, not over-reporting, not under-reporting. And so I think that Michelle's doing a good job at that. If she has a little time here and there, she can help that person, but it's certainly not something where she can take 10 or 20 hours a week off of her. It just is what it is.
So
but we'll certainly look at that.
You'll keep us posted because
Absolutely.
this is a very critical function.
Absolutely.
And so thank you for leading it.
Thank you. Mr. Bowman?
I just kind of wanted to resonate some of the statements Commissioner Zach had made known. I think this is a very valuable role that we are now facilitating. More so due to the fact that it opens us up to liability if we're not adhering appropriately, as we noted with fines, as well as even maybe personal responsibility, legal wise. And I also want to just kind of tip my hat to Community Corrections. They recently had a recent review here at our Yale, noting that we are really kind of setting the standard as it relates to health and wellness for our jail population. So I'm just making a note that I'm in support, and that this ultimately will allow us to prevent any future liability related to private health information for our residents and patient. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Wiper, you had a question?
We're already doing all this. It just makes sense that there's so many layers, right, to have a dedicated person. Is that?
Yeah, we have to have the dedicated person. You try your best, but we have to make sure that audits are taking place. One of the good examples is somebody up front in the front office may have access to a folder or an email that has PHI. They're always getting that, right? And then all of a sudden, there's a job open at Treasury. Like my old assistant, she took a job at Fiscal Services. Okay? Well, here's the problem. She took a job at Fiscal Services. She still works for the county. So if you don't physically take her out of the iDrive folders and off of those lists, she still works at the county. She can just click and get right in and see all that. If she left the county, because of the way we use our usernames, our IAM usernames, it would just fall off because she's no longer active, right? But that's not the case when she works somewhere else. So someone has to physically go into each one of those and say, where is that person now? Does that person still work here? So every 3 months, every supervisor of every single iDrive folder, of every email, has to be personally contacted and asked, is this person still here? It's a lot of time, assuming.
Thank you. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Middleton?
Yes.
Wipers?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
Kokendorfer?
Yes.
Bowman?
Yeah.
Hoffman?
Yes. Thank you very much. The last item is miscellaneous resolution 18059, facilities management, facilities planning, and engineering, Sheriff's Office, additional priority 2 building security enhancement and priority 3 building security enhancement projects.
Art's going to handle this.
Moved by Commissioner Wiper, supported by Commissioner Middleton.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are continuing the building security enhancements project that we started 2 years ago. There have been, I believe, 4 previous resolutions that have been passed by the board to take us through the early phases of this project. There are 4 phases roughly scheduled out in 4 consecutive fiscal years. Funding for this project has been and continues to be included in our capital improvement program. We're starting priority 3. That's going to include security berms like we have around the courthouse here for the Troy and Novi district courts and our steam plant over here. An additional security station, this one at the north office building, and then numerous other various security enhancements projects that are smaller in scope and dollar than the ones I just went through. This also includes additional deputy, I believe PTNE deputies
Yep.
at the north office building. There are already, I believe, 2 there, but additional PTNEs have been determined to be necessary to properly secure that building. That's where the MDOC probation offices are, as well as Veteran Services and the MSU Extension offices. So it's a bit of an unfortunate client mix, and having these deputies there is a smart thing to do. At this point, I'll just open it up for any questions that you might have.
Anybody have any questions?
I failed to introduce Sergeant Tovar, who helps Lieutenant Hill in the security assessments.
Thank you.
He's assigned to you're in this building.
All right, no questions, comments? All right, roll call, please.
Wypert?
Yes.
Zach?
Yes.
Kokendorfer?
Yes.
Ballman?
Yes.
Middleton?
Yes.
Hoffman?
Yes. Motion carried, thank you. Last item is communications, receive and file. Moved by Commissioner Kokendorfer, supported by
I support it.
Commissioner Whitebird. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same, motion carried. Is there any other business before us today? Hearing, oh,
I brought over some flyers for summer. Summer's open and we're keeping it open. We don't have a close date for it, so I brought 10. If you need more, let me know.
thank you.
Those are in addition to the Parks and Rec ones that
Yes,
went out?
the Parks and Rec did their own, and then we've incorporated all of them.
Okay.
Have you found it difficult to fill these positions in the parks yet, or is it, we usually, yeah, that's what I figured.
Lifeguards, if you know any lifeguards, we always are in need of lifeguards.
I do, and I can't swim.
We don't want you to be a lifeguard.
I look good though. All right, thank you very much. Nothing else on meeting adjourned.